What's up, social media world? It's me, BP Ben Peters, coming at you with another video. I get this question all the time. Ben, what is better, buying on market or buying off market? And quite honestly, it's just not that simple. There's pros and cons into investing on market versus off market, working with an agent, without an agent. And I'm gonna go over with them here with you today to see which one's right for you. But before I get into it, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so we can get this kind of content in front of more people just like you, wanting to build their wealth and build their legacy. So let's get into it. All right, first, I wanna talk about on market, because this is where I would venture to say most of you are familiar. I'm gonna go through 3 pros and 3 cons of working on market. The first one is when you're working on market, chances are you're using a real estate agent. And I can't stress this enough, make sure you use a good, seasoned real estate agent. By using a seasoned real estate agent, you're gonna make sure that you are protected in the buying process. Sellers don't care about you. As a buyer, sellers don't care about you. That real estate agent is gonna protect you, make sure you're getting a good deal, make sure you're not getting screwed over in the transaction. So that is definitely a pro of working on market, working with real estate agents. The second pro of working on market deals is sellers are more likely to go through a traditional sale process so that they are providing more disclosure. When you're working off market, a lot of times sellers are just, hey, as is, you're getting what you're getting. When sellers go through the traditional sale process, 90% of the time, they're gonna disclose to you, oh, we had water in the house at some point, oh, we had flooding, oh, we remodeled the kitchen. Those types of disclosures help you immensely as a real estate investor. Number 3, traditional transaction. What does that mean? Because you're working buyer's agent, seller's agent, both agents know what they're doing. They're gonna know what title companies to use. They're gonna know what mortgage lenders to use. And so it should be a lot smoother of a process than an off-market deal. When you've been in real estate as long as I have and seen so many of the things that can go wrong during a transaction, having a traditional transaction where things go smoothly, there is worth, there is value in that. But let's talk about this. It's not all sunshines and rainbows working on market deals. So here are 3 cons of working on market deals. Number 1, real estate agents. I'm a real estate agent, so I can say this. Sometimes real estate agents suck. Some real estate agents are so bad at their job. Sometimes agents just want to throw their weight around and prove their worth. And I hate working with those types of agents. So sometimes working with agents can be a great thing when you're working with a good, trusted agent. Sometimes it sucks. The second thing, if you're using good agents, sometimes a con of working on market deals, it's harder to get good deals. Sometimes when you're working off market deals, the seller doesn't know what they have. But if you're working with a good agent, if I walk into a seller and they say, hey, I want to sell my house and get top dollar, I'm going to tell them what they can get for top dollar. If you're working off market deals, you might be able to say, oh, I'll offer you 50 cents on the dollar, and the seller might be okay with that. And the third con of working on market deals, it's harder to control the other side. When you're working with an agent who doesn't know what they're doing, if I'm representing a buyer and another agent is representing a seller, I just had a transaction where the listing agent was belligerent. We were trying to negotiate and the listing agent would not move off of it at all. A house right next door sold for $500,000. This one was on the market for $700,000, severely overpriced. Well, we bring a low offer and he said, I'm not even gonna bring that offer. I'm not even gonna bring that offer. And I said, well, no wonder your seller is not willing to negotiate if you're not even bringing offers. So that is the third thing that is a con of working on market deals. It's harder to control the other side because you don't actually get to speak to the other side. So those are 3 pros and 3 cons of on-market deals. Let's talk about off-market deals. All right, let's start with 3 pros of off-market deals. The first one, and I can say this as a real estate agent, you get to cut agents out. Sometimes working directly with the seller is just a heck of a lot easier. You can cut out commissions. Sometimes you can get a better deal on the house. Sometimes you can get the sellers to fix things that you wouldn't be able to in a normal transaction. Number 2, a pro of off-market is you can control the other side. Because you're directly talking to the seller, you can pitch things better than an agent, especially if an agent is bad. So for instance, maybe you came with a cash offer and now all of a sudden you realize, oh, you know what? This is going to take too much cash out of my account. Hey, I need to do financing. Well, with an agent, that would be a major red flag. Oh my gosh, like you guys are changing the terms of the deal, yada, 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 whatever. Well, if I can talk to the seller directly, I'm gonna say to the seller, hey, you know what? I know I said I was gonna do cash. I'm actually gonna mortgage finance it. Hey, we're gonna close at the same time. Hey, nothing is changing except I'm getting a mortgage. And so when I can pitch it to the seller directly and I can sell them on it, more than likely they're going to be like, oh, that's totally cool. Where if you have another agent in the deal, they might be like, oh my gosh, red flag left and right, that kind of thing. The third pro of working off-market deals is I think it's more fulfilling. Sometimes with off-market deals, you're dealing with sellers who are in distress. You're dealing with sellers who are in a tough situation. They need money right away or whatever that may be. The biggest pro is you can do things quicker than in a traditional transaction. Traditional transaction, you got to do listing paperwork, you got to take professional photos, you're going to deal with showings, you're going to deal with inspections. By doing off market, you tell the seller, hey, I've already seen the house, I've walked through it. Hey, I can offer you X, I'm not going to do an inspection, yada, yada, yada. The one off market deal that I had, my seller was like, thank you, Ben, so much for helping me out. I didn't want to deal with showings. I didn't want to deal with buyer inspections. So to me, sometimes off-market can be more fulfilling. But again, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Sometimes off-market sucks. So 3 cons of working off-market deals are: number 1, because you're working off-market, nobody is representing you. Real estate agent isn't representing you. Real estate agent isn't representing the seller side. So if you are brand new as a buyer and you've never done a deal before, you've never had an investment property, and you're buying from a seasoned investor, chances are that seasoned investor is going to take advantage of you. They might slip something into the contract that you didn't realize. You might be buying the house for way over market value because you don't know how to comp it, and so you don't have somebody looking out for your best interests. That's why I love being a real estate agent. I'm always there for my clients. I'm always looking out for their best interests, but that is definitely a con of working off market. The second issue of working off-market deals. Most of the time when you're working off-market, you're dealing with sellers who are probably investors already. You're dealing with distressed sellers, people who want to sell quickly, and a lot of times when people want to sell quickly, they're not in the right mindset. You might run into disclosure issues. They might not disclose, oh yeah, the flood that one time. Oh yeah, we experience ice dams every time it snows, every time it gets cold. Those are big issues where if not disclosed, you don't know about it, you might be inheriting a huge headache. That's going to cost time, it's going to cost money, and so you are not as protected when the seller doesn't disclose as much. And because you're not working with real estate agents, when I'm representing a seller, I say fill out this disclosure statement to the best of your ability. Whatever is on this disclosure statement, you will not be held liable for. Well, if you're buying off market and you're cutting real estate agents out, that disclosure is not going to be there. So it really stresses the importance of an inspection, but even when you do an inspection, those inspectors aren't going to find everything. So lack of disclosure in off-market deals can really sink you if you don't do your due diligence. And the third thing that is a con of working off-market deals, when things go wrong, it's harder to salvage. What I love about working on-market deals, because I've got a buyer's agent and a seller's agent working together, they don't get paid. As a real estate agent, I don't get paid if it doesn't close. And so if some hurdle comes up, the seller's agent is like, hey, I want to get this done. If it's a title issue, if it's a disclosure issue, if anything that can pop up, you have 2 agents who are incentivized, hey, I want to get this closed. So even if there is a hurdle, we're going to work through it. When you're working off market, that seller, especially if you're buying from an investor, they're like, hey, this is a cash flowing property. Oh, hey, there's this big disclosure issue. It's going to cost $20,000. Heck, I'm just not even going to sell, because those sellers aren't as incentivized to sell. And so when you're buying off market deals, it's harder to get over those hurdles with those sellers because they're not as incentivized, and you don't have a buyer's agent representing your best interests and a seller's agent representing their best interests, but they are incentivized because they're getting paid. So after hearing this, guys, what do you guys think? Are you more of an on-market person? Are you an off-market person? There's pros and cons to each. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have bought properties in the past, if they have been on market, off market, anything that you've experienced, I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments down below. And again, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so we can get in front of more real estate investors like yourself. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay vertical.